Catelynn and Tyler had me on their podcast and did not pay me. But neither did Tamron Hall, or People Magazine, or NBC, and even Good Day LA, and many, many more. And that's because most mainstream media and news shows have a policy where they're not allowed to pay sources for information. And this adoptee discourse is not new. We've had it going on and off for years, and on Instagram it was a big thing for a while. Because adoptees and foster youth believe that we should be paid for our emotional labor, which is 100% true. But, like everything in adoption, like nuance and context matters. When we are getting interviews on giant platforms, like major TV networks, that are way bigger than Catelynn and Tyler, like they're not paying us either. And they shouldn't be. Now, some expenses like travel costs, food, and stuff like that can be covered, and I've had it covered in some cases, but other places they don't, and that's normal. Now, if you're also a journalist and you're writing a piece on adoption, yes, 100% you should be paid. But for me, in my books, I could not pay any of my sources. I only paid for work contributed. So I commissioned pieces by adoptees, and then that I paid for, not the interviews. And in my books, I cite many, many news articles and the like. And as long as you are properly referencing them and only using a certain amount of that information, it's considered fair use. And so in terms of like content creation and stuff, if someone uses a clip of your TikTok and they use generally like less than 30 seconds, that falls under fair use. So you don't get paid for that. Now, if they're ripping off your entire video, yes, 100%, and you should try to get that money and like get their video taken down. But if you are an adoptee or a foster youth who are looking to get into this space for advocacy, unfortunately, a lot of it is unpaid labor. And that is completely normal. But I have done many things that are paid, like keynotes and workshops and panels, as well as a lot of writing, my books and published pieces. And I have one coming out with Business Insider soon too. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify this and help people understand. I think it's so easy to jump on the bandwagon of coming after birth parents, and they're getting at it from all sides now, which is just not okay. But if you're using this as an excuse to hate them or whatever, like, that's a BS excuse. And I think someone mentioned that, like, they had picked, like, smaller creators, I guess because we don't have hundreds of thousands of followers on here, as some, like, sort of gotcha moment, like, they were taking advantage of vulnerable adoptees who don't know any better. And in this case, the adoptees that I've talked to who have done this podcast have nothing but good things to say. So maybe next time just ask us. And if being paid for every single interview and work that you do is your boundary, totally, like that's great for you. But it is going to limit your reach because it's just not the standard.